Hi guys, I'm Ev. I am the co-owner of Dalecki Strength Gymnastics, and in today's video I'm going to show you some of the methods that we use with our adult students to help them become flexible. As kids, when you get into gymnastics and you're forced to work through flexibility work, honestly, it can be very brutal. The methods are very old school. There's a lot of painful stretching and questionable methods. I'll show you a few that we used to have to endure. So this was a classic one used for shoulder flexion, where coach just shoved a knee into the back, open up through the thoracic, and just yanks on the shoulders. This was not fun for most people. Okay, and then we got into shoulder extension, which was done this way, forcing your face and chin into the mat, and also just shoulder destruction. Now, in that one, we used to have to get the hands all the way to the floor. Luckily, in our studio, things have really improved and come a long way. We're always researching new methods, using safe methods, and mainly utilizing strength work through range so that adults can get into this stuff without getting hurt. Part one of having a good flexibility program is firstly having a goal. So actually knowing what you're trying to improve. So for a very, very common one, we'll use an example, is most adults want to be able to touch their toes easily because then they can pick things up off the floor, pick kids off the floor, things like that. You want to know what your baseline is before embarking on a flex program so that you know if it's actually working for you. And then also within your sessions, you want to know if you're getting better week to week or by week 4 or by week 8. Simply visually on a video checking how low we can get down. It might be towards the fingertips, it might be a little bit of the finger, could be all the way flat. Maybe you can get your nose all the way to your knees. For a good structured flexibility session, you have to have a few parts to this puzzle. So firstly, you want to do a specific warm-up, which means that you're actually warming up the range that you're going to take yourself through in the session. You want to do something dynamic to begin with. Then you want to do some strength work for the agonist and the antagonist side of the stretch. And then you want to finish with some long holds in a passive position. Now we're just going to get into a little sample. So if you're working towards touching your toes or getting a fully flat pike, this is a sample workout that you can follow. So we're going to start off with that specific warm-up, and I'm going to do emu bobs to show you. I'm going to start all the way at the back of the mat, keep my knees straight, and just take one foot in front of the other, and then bounce down. So you can just do this little double pulse at the bottom to allow yourself to get a little bit more range through the hamstrings. Okay, we might do that for about 2 sets of 20 steps. That already is dynamic in itself, but I normally do throw in some leg swings as well, swinging the leg forward, swinging the leg back. So for the first active part of the flex session, we're going to need a yoga block. Okay, and where we're targeting here is strength in the hip flexor using your yoga block, and you're going to place it in between your knee or quad and chest, and you really want to crush that in. So this area here is the shortening side, and the lengthening side is going to be the hamstring, and we're going to try to really keep this hip flexed during the exercise. Back to wall, just to keep me really upright. I'm going to put the yoga block here, crush it in between my quad and my chest. My bottom base leg here should be straight. Okay, then I'm going to go for 5 reps, where I'm going to try to extend that leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that is hard work. I'm sure you can see from my face. This hip flexor is really having to work hard to keep in hip flexion. Common mistake is to just sort of let that knee fall down. You'll know if you've done it wrong, if you've lost your yoga block. And then I'll just do a double leg variation straight afterwards, which is a pike compression lift. So here I want to have my chest and torso upright or forward. Try not to lean back. Light touch with the fingertips on the floor here. And then we're just going to do leg raises. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that got everything really active here in the quads, in the shortening side, which helps me to lift my legs closer to my body. Now we're going to target the hamstrings on the lengthening side with some RDLs. We'll just do it in a really, really slow tempo on the way down. Okay, so I'll show you from the side. I've only got 5 kilo dumbbells here. The knees can just be just be unlocked, but they pretty much want to stay straight. We're going to take the hips back, really lengthen through the hamstring, and then come back up. We'll do 5 here as well. So we would want to repeat that little circuit a number of times before moving on to passive. So you would repeat the knee hinges, the pike compression lifts, and the RDLs, let's say 3 times before moving on. But now I'm just going to move on to the passive. So for my passive hold, I would go into my pike stretch here, hinging forward at the hips, leaning forward with the hands, and then in passive, really just trying to focus on relaxing, not stressing out and trying to fight the stretch too much. Just slowly, as you get used to that position, go a little bit further and focus on your breathing and your relaxing. All right, guys, I hope that really helps you on your flexibility journey. If you did try that Pike session, please leave us a comment and let us know what you thought. And if you would like to train with us in person, we do have spots available for new students at our Alexandria studio. So just visit the website, which is linked in the description of this video. Thanks so much, guys.